Oh, there. Hold on. We'll get to Nick Picht in a second. Mike, you tell me when he looks like he's camera ready. Nick last night. Oh, I have one more of these peanut butter cups. That's the best when you're.
Wait, what kind of peanut butter cups are those?
So these are the Quest peanut butter cups.
What?
11 grams of protein, one net carbs. Not that that matters. I don't care about carbs.
Yeah, but these are like the
no sugars. I'm trying to avoid the sugar.
These are like the Atkins.
You're reaching your hand
things.
out. Like
I know. It's what I do.
But they're not. No, it's Quest and the Atkins diet.
Those go right through.
Mike, the Atkins diet is like that's dead and gone. Nobody's doing the.
Yeah, but it's just keto. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they put another name on it, I guess. I remember a couple
slipped and fell and hit his head. And died.
The Atkins diet. What happened? He did, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Atkins.
He slipped and fell and hit his head and died. Yeah.
You want to talk about a diet that was all the rage in like the late 90s?
I did it several times.
Yeah, and you can drop some weight doing it.
Yeah.
But
you can also enlarge your heart really quickly.
Yeah, I don't know about the Atkins diet. But I do know Nick Picht is with us. Let's bring him in now. Hey, it's Bob Costas.
Hello, it's me here for all of you to see.
Nick, you were at the game last night.
Yeah, it was.
So that had to be one of the more electric atmospheres you've been a part of recently. Yankees back in the playoffs, home game in the ALCS on a Monday night while the Mets played earlier in the day, and across the river, the Jets are playing. What was the energy like in the city yesterday?
Honestly, I don't really know what the energy in the city was like because I mostly stayed home for like the whole day. And then we drove to, dude, my dad did a classic NYPD, like drove us to the stadium and then in 2 cars. So then he parked us in the retired NYPD spot that they all have over there and then got back in his car and drove home and left us with the car at free parking in the NYPD spot so that we could drive home from the game at 11 o'clock.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Break this down for me. So was your mom following?
No, we followed him in my mom's car, Shelly and I.
Gotcha.
But anyway, to answer your question about energy, once we got down to that area of the Bronx, like it definitely felt like it was time for October baseball. The air was crispy, like Billy's was bumping at like 4 o'clock. It was good. Billy? It was good vibes. Billy's is like the big bar in there. Like it's almost like a club, really.
Okay.
And then we watched.
What was it like as far as like fan to fan? Like, is it like a super festive thing? Like if you're wearing a Yankees jersey or a Yankees hat, are you like high fiving people?
No. At the end of the game, yeah, and like during the game, but like pregame, I think vibes were just kind of like, all right. Let's get in there, get a lead, and then hopefully all goes well. Like Soto hit that home run, and it felt very much like it went from nervous energy to like, all right, we got this. Let's pile it on.
That was pretty awesome. I was watching that when it happened, and I consider myself, honestly, for somebody who flips around and doesn't watch the whole game, I felt lucky to have seen that, like a big home run in October by a superstar for the Yankees. I was like, oh, wow, like there's something going on here.
Dude, vibes were good at the stadium yesterday. I kept turning to Shelly and be like, the stadium feels good. The stadium has a lot of energy.
What's Shelly like at a game like that?
She was loving it. She thought it was fun. You know, that's the first playoff game I've ever been to.
Yeah, so I want a little bit more of on your experience there. Like you go into the game. First of all, how many years have you been going to Yankee games?
Oh, probably since I'm 3. So that's got to be 27 now.
And so you are there for a playoff game. How'd you get the tickets?
Well, I went on so we went home for the weekend. My sister was baptizing the baby.
I saw.
And so, yeah, we had to do the whole thing. So all weekend I was looking on all the apps, SeatGeek, StubHub, Game Time, all that stuff, just trying to find the best seats. And then we get home from all the baptism festivities at like 10 o'clock, and I'm scrolling the app and I find 228 right down the third base line. I found him for 183. And then I had a promo code from one of the podcasts that I listened to. So I ended up getting them for like 160 a piece for me and Shelly. So it's not bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we were chilling.
So what did you think about the game itself last night and the Yankees and their chances?
I think that Rodon pitched his ass off.
Yeah.
And like you could even tell from where we were that his shit was playing for sure. Like a lot of like it looked like everything had cut on it. And I don't know, he doesn't really throw a cutter like that, but he kind of was last night. I was listening to something this morning on the plane ride home to Louisville, and they said that he had 25 swings and misses, which is the most in his career, but the most of I think any Yankee pitcher in the playoffs. Which like that just goes to show his stuff was really playing last night. So I thought Rodon set the tone. I think after the first like 2 or 3 innings, Soto hit that homer. Rodon was dialed in like the 4th and 5th, and we just felt good. Like the stadium was just feeling good, positive energy.
It
was good.
What's next for the Yankees and the Guardians in this series?
I think you have to win tonight, obviously. Cole's on the mound. You already have a 1-0 lead. You can't let that slip away. You have to get on there. You have to get on their ass early because Cleveland's bullpen is so good. So just keep making them use the bullpen. Like if you can get those less than A leverage arms, you got to get to them. So I mean, they got Bibee. Bibee is their best pitcher tonight for sure. I mean, all year. So if you can get to Bibee, you can get a couple runs off him, and Cole can keep them to like 1. I think you got to feel good again.
All right, so I want you to talk a little bit about Weaver, right? Like, so for people that don't watch baseball all season long, certainly maybe they don't watch the Yankees because they're not in their market or they don't watch big national games, and you see this dude who's he looks like your paper boy, right? For to throw.
He's like 120 pounds soaking wet.
What is the deal with this kid? Tell me about it.
I don't think it's beyond hyperbole to say that right now Luke Weaver is the best relief pitcher in baseball.
Okay. Why is he so damn good?
He was good in the beginning of the year, and we knew it was going to be better for him because he went to full-time relief. He kind of changed his delivery a bit, less with the leg kick and more just kind of like a rock back into his back hip and like slingshot it. So he got like considerably more velocity on the ball. And it just kind of clicked. I don't know. It's been crazy to see, though, dude. For him to go from basically the worst starting pitcher in baseball to a lockdown closer on the best team in the American League is pretty insane to think about. Like, that's like Kurt Warner, dude. You go from bagging groceries to Super Bowl MVP, right? I mean,
and it just shows how much of all this stuff is mental.
Some, but I think he made legit changes to his delivery, knowing that he was going to pitch out of the bullpen in the winter and in spring training.
Take me across the country now. I want to get your quick thoughts on how it wrapped up with the NLDS. What did the Padres do to blow that? I mean, did they take themselves too serious after Game 3?
Honestly, I don't know, but like you have nobody else but yourself to blame for not scoring in Game 4 or Game 5. I mean, that's just inexcusable for a team that wants to like win the World Series. You can't do that. Now, granted, the Dodgers have sick bullpen arms.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys that are super hard to hit. But if you're going to talk all that smack and then go out and get shut out for 18 innings, like, bro, you can't do that. Come on. It's over. I think I think the Dodgers stepped up, and I think the Padres just kind of like chose a bad time to get cold. I don't know. I mean, nothing more really to it than that.
What do you think about Tatis? And like, you know, there's a lot of flavor, a lot of celebration out there. I think it's a lot of fun, but certain baseball purists had a lot of issues with the way that the Padres conducted themselves during that series.
The funniest thing of all, and why I was hoping that the Dodgers would lose, is because Dave Roberts was talking wild, as if like people don't hate his team.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, you guys are not the superheroes. No one likes you guys. So for you to get up here and be like, man, you know, Manny Machado tried to murder me with the baseball because
he threw it in the dugout.
Chill out, dude. Chill out. I don't know. I don't care about that. I think Tatis, the more you talk about it, the better it is for the game, no?
Yeah.
So I don't care. Tatis is sick.
Yeah, like he's a lot of fun, dude.
Really good.
He's a lot of fun.
But I feel kind of bad because I wanted the Padres to win that series.
All right, so now we're NLCS. Like,
yeah.
Who do you not want to play?
The Mets.
Right. So why do you not want to play him? Is it strictly because there's the hottest team in baseball right now?
No, it's one reason and one reason only. It's because if we play the Mets and we lose to the Mets in the World Series, I will never fucking hear the end of it. and that's just something that I really don't have enough patience to deal with.
This is coming from a kid who grew up in Queens, cheering for the Yankees.
I mean, literally half of my people are Met fans and the other half are Yankees. So, like, I will never hear the end of it if we lose to the Mets in the World Series. Dodgers, you're supposed to lose to them, right? I mean, they spent what, $1 gajillion in free agency. So, like, if you lose to the Dodgers, all right, you tip your cap. Yeah, like you guys have 3 MVPs, $1 billion in payroll. God bless. The Mets, like, I don't know. I'm still sort of just amazed that the Mets are even here in general. Their pitching is not that good. Their bullpen is not that good. Their lineup is not that good. But they are just scorching hot. And that's, I mean, I guess that's scary to think about. But more so, I cannot handle the backlash if they were to win the World Series against the Yankees.
What do you foresee happening in that New York-LA series?
I think LA probably wins it in 7.
Okay.
I can't get over the hump that, like, the Mets starting pitching is going to somehow hold the Dodgers quiet all series long. I just can't, like, you know, when you, like, gamblers would talk about, like, I can't get there on that spread or total or whatever. It's like, I can't find a way to allow myself to think that the Mets starting pitching is going to hold the Dodgers down for 7 games.
All right. Well, I got one more question for you. Let's go back to football, or go to football.
How about the Jets, huh?
So I want to ask about the Jets. So how much is Woody Johnson to blame for what is now just kind of a mess?
I don't know, dude. Also, the Bills got Amari Cooper. That's kind of cool.
Yes.
I don't know, and I don't really care. I think sometimes the owners, like, we can all have an opinion about what happens, but at the end of the day, like, I think same thing with the Chiefs. I just told you last week, we'll do all this conversation in October, and then at the end of the day, the Chiefs will be in the AFC title game, and that's it. If in December the Jets are in the playoffs, then who cares? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if the Jets are in the AFC title game, or even if the Jets make the playoffs, what he did was a success. So we should, I know this is not how, like, the world works, because we want everything to happen immediately. Yeah. But who's to know if Woody Johnson's at fault? Who's to know if Woody Johnson's a genius? Who's to know anything? Everybody's going to have something to say, of course.
But his track record as an owner is not good, Nick.
Neither are, like, 75% of owners.
Yeah.
Look at Jerry Jones.
Well, yeah.
Jerry Jones's track record is so good. I don't know. Not if you ask me.
One of the most the maligned owners in sports.
I mean, who is Jerry Jones?
Yeah, and
honestly, he's also the general manager of the team, and the team isn't good. So, and I'm not even a Jet fan. I don't even like the Jets. But it's just like, how many owners are just out there dog shit? So I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, well, at least he tried to shake it up. And the other half of me is like, well, maybe he did a disservice. I don't know.
So, by the way,
we'll circle back in December.
When you were following your father to the game last night, former NYPD, retired NYPD cop. So how does that work? Did you guys park, like, in a place where he would walk back and meet you?
So we pulled over to one side street, both of the cars. He got out and asked the cop on duty, like, you know, where we could park. And then they told him where to go. So he ran there with my mom's car, threw it in a spot, and then walked right back to our car and just took off. I was like, you want to come and have a beer with us, like, and sit and hang out? And he was like, nah, I can't. I got to go to work. And he left.
So did the off-duty cop or the cop who was working, was he like, hey, no problem? Did he see what had transpired? These guys aren't dummies.
No, he told my dad where to go.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it was. I mean, it's not like it's my dad doing it. It's all. I mean, they have like basically a section for NYPD over there.
It's a beautiful thing, dude. There's nothing like that city. Last night as a fan and yesterday, I really was, man, this is so cool. Like, as a total sucker for big time sports, I was like,
Yeah.
You know, the Mets won today. The Yankees are playing tonight. The Jets are playing across the river. That's how it was.
Dude, the only team to mess it up yesterday was the Jets. The Devils, Islanders, Rangers, Yankees, Mets all won.
No way.
Yeah. It was almost a full New York sweep. The Jets were the only ones to blow it.
All right, I got time for one more thing with you. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets' chances to pull it together this year?
I think they're better with Adams than they are without Adams.
Okay.
Because it's very clear that Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson don't have like that kind of chemistry.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's something that they have time to build. And so if they're in need of big plays, which clearly they are, he can't go to Mike Williams. He doesn't really trust Garrett Wilson yet. The offensive line isn't that good for them to really put the ball in Breece's hands 20 times yet. So he's going to need those kind of plays, and Lazard can only do so much. So
New York's Nick Picht. I called you nicked. New York Nick, baby. Yo, we'll talk to you next week with more baseball.
Dude, the game was so much fun. I wish I could go back to game 2 tonight. We had such a blast. Stadium was awesome.
Would you make a push to go to a World Series game now? You've had
I don't know. I'm not in New York unless it's Thanksgiving, so that'd be a lot of money for me to pay for that. I don't know. It's possible, not probable.
All right.
But I would go back to game 2 in a heartbeat.
All right, we got to check out because we're up against it. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, brother.
Thanks, Nikki.
Peace.
That was Nick Pick. We'll call him New York Nick. I like that. Giving us everything we need to know about the MLB playoffs. And it's cool to have somebody who had as a fan, a front row seat last night.
When does this show start?
You got to talk to Nick, man.
Oh, okay.
You got to talk to Nick.
He's a good guy.
He's the man. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. The Pete Souza Show, powered by the Rogue Media Network, rolls on 1 p.m. Central.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports.